What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome on back to Mass Effect. So in the last couple episodes, we took care of the top side of this map here. Last, of course, was Armstrong Nebula. We caught up with everybody on the crew, so now it is time to tackle one of the only places left, which is the Voyager cluster. We obviously haven't gone down here yet, but these are all hub worlds, and then I guess we'll do the local cluster before we head to Pharos. But still, last two locations before we start heading into the main quest, so let's hop into the Voyager cluster. I think there'll only be, yes, there's only one location for us to take care of here, which is Amazon, so we'll head on in. Maybe Hackett will have something for us, maybe not. Honestly, depending on the time it takes for us to clear the Amazon cluster, I could do the Luna base this episode too. Two birds with one stone.
Incoming signal from 5th Fleet HQ on the Citadel.
Commander Shepard, something uncomfortable has just come up. In the First Contact War, we fired a lot of espionage probes into Turian space. We just received a mission complete burst from one of them.
That is definitely quite the delay. It's been, what, 100 years?
Where's it been in the meantime?
No idea. Lost in transit. These probes were built in a hurry after First Contact.
Well, that doesn't seem like quite the uncomfortable incident that he's talking about, right? It's just a beacon.
What makes this uncomfortable?
When these probes were launched, we didn't have any idea who we were fighting. We didn't want to risk aliens examining our technology. The probe has a demo nuke built in. A 20-kiloton technical fusion warhead. About equal to the bomb dropped on Hiroshima back in the 20th. If somebody finds that probe, tampers with it, you don't need me to finish, Commander.
Yeah, that's a bad look, especially now we have a shaky peace with the Turians. Last thing we need is them finding one of these bombs and taking it back to the homeworld to examine it, and it nukes one of their capital cities. We definitely need to go get it.
I understand this must be handled, but I don't have anyone trained to deal with this sort of thing, sir.
I know. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. These probes have been classified for 26 years. The Council will call fusion bomb booby traps dangerous and irresponsible. The Alliance would face censure if they find this probe. I'm asking you because the Normandy can get on site quickly and quietly. It's in the Voyager cluster.
It's in the Voyager cluster. That's the opposite side of the Alliance from Turian space. How did it get there?
I don't know. It's possible someone recovered it safely and brought it there. It's also possible it got very badly lost. It could have been wandering the relay network since the war.
Yeah, sometimes things just get caught in the mass relays. They bounce around until they eventually drift out of the path of one of them, and then it's landed somewhere and said mission complete.
We'll get on it immediately, Admiral. And we'll be discreet.
I appreciate that, Commander. Good luck.
So he mentioned that the Council would say it was dangerous and irresponsible, and then the Alliance would face censure. And it's dangerous and irresponsible to them, right? But from humanity's perspective, it makes perfect sense. It's First Contact War. We're fighting alien species that we've never encountered before. Hell, we thought we were the only kids on the block, right? If you look at modern humanity's thinking, we all think that we're the only life form here in the whole galaxy. All of a sudden you realize that's not true, and now you're in open warfare. They have advanced weapons, advanced shields, advanced tactics. You don't know how many they are. You need to scout the battlefield before you perform actions, but you also can't afford to give the enemy any more advantages than they just innately have, being a spacefaring species. So, well, the only way to get around that is to send probes out there, and the only way to stop them from being able to examine your equipment to get in more of an advantage than they already do would be to put a bomb inside it. I think the nuke might be a little much, but I guess the thinking there was probably on the bright side, that if an enemy species does capture the nuke, then at least we take out a big enough chunk of them with the nuke, right? I guess that's where the thinking was, that if they do happen to catch this, we don't just want to disable it, we want to take a chunk out of the enemy that has it. Which a nuke will definitely do the job for that. Alright, so here we are on Agabinium, and what I will do is I'll split the episode here, and I will catch you guys when I'm done with all this stuff, and then we'll go hit up that Alliance homing beacon, so I'll see you when I see you. What is happening, everybody? We are finally wrapped up with all those collectibles on Agabinium, so here's the final map, everything you have to deal with. You got 3 mineral nodes, and there's the ancient debris. There's a Turian wreckage right there, too, for a, what are they called? The Turian medallion squad thingies that we've been collecting. But now that we're done with that, we can start investigating the signal, and if you look at what we have here, it sure doesn't look like the probe crash landed on this planet, does it? As it conveniently knocked on the door and opened it up. This is actually about to be a real funny line when we go to this door. Something that I've used myself in many occasions.
The signal is coming from a mine?
Suspicious.
I concur. This did not crash. Someone moved it here.
Your grasp of the obvious is inspiring. There's still a nuke down there. Check your corners and watch your back.
Affirmative.
Your grasp of the obvious is inspiring is a funny ass line. I find myself saying that in real life when people say the most like mundane, obvious shit that they didn't have to comment on. I say that all the time. Wow, your grasp of the obvious is inspiring. Let's cautiously check this place out though, because like they just obviously pointed out, there's no way on God's green earth this is not a trap. Somebody obviously put this in here and then activated the beacon, so we are gonna tread very cautiously as we go through this place. And it just looks like a bad time just being here, doesn't it? This is not a very good shooting gallery for us. I mean, there's lots of cover for us, but that also means lots of cover for whatever we're gonna fight down here, so... I love that sci-fi 90s-esque music in the background. It adds so much to the atmosphere. Hats off to the music composer in the Mass Effect games, man. The music in the whole trilogy is banger. It's some of the best shit I've ever heard. Oh, I think we found our bomb.
That was a detonator, Commander.
Thank you, Garrus.
At last.
Where would I be without you and Liara telling me what occurs?
You have me at a disadvantage.
You don't remember me. No matter. I remember you. I never forget anyone I've fought. My name is Elanos Haliat. I doubt you know.
Like Haliat Armory, like the gun we're using.
Shepherd, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe.
The biggest piece of shit on the pile, I would imagine. And it's interesting that the Legendary Edition actually fixed a little bug here, because this guy was always supposed to be a Turian, but in the original games, he's actually a bald human, but this character was always meant to be Turian. Hence the Haliat second name. That's a Turian arms manufacturer, so he's from a family of Turian arms merchants. Fun fact.
You assume I give a damn. That's cute.
The strongest leads. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
And if you noticed, on our background, we picked War Hero, which is single-handedly holding back a fleet attack on Elysium while the people pulled out and we had reinforcements on the line. And this is the scumbag who led that attack, so this is something else from our past here.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed because of you. Your damnable holding action.
Womp womp.
My crew will come for me.
Let them. We'll be ready. An Alliance warship would make a fine prize.
You haven't met Joker.
Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't powerful enough to transmit out.
Pretty good trap though, I'll give him that. I didn't know they stacked shit that high, but he certainly has a brainstem.
We'll find a way out of here.
I rather doubt that. Goodbye, Shepard.
I'd love to be the
What
one
do
to
we do
surprise
now,
you.
Shepard?
We've got air and light, and the Normandy's still in orbit. Let's look for another way out.
There's no time to get out. You have to disable the bomb before it goes off. So he set this nuke off, and you see the 10-second time detonation there. So let's not mess this up. That's one hard point. That's two. Thank God the time freezes when we do this, huh? We'd already blown up. Realistic time. And that's three. The bomb is turned off. Now we can have a happy reunion with Mr. Haliat. I know he stole the car too. That's some forward thinking, but nobody touches the ride. That's Bebe. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TV show Supernatural, but that's what Dean Winchester calls his car, and that's very much how I feel about the Maker. You are not going to touch the Maker. That is my Bebe. For as toxic as it is roaming around these mountains, I wouldn't have it any other way. Can't just steal a man's car and expect no consequences. And then we come out right on top, which if you would have done what I did and explored all these locations first, you would have actually come out here beforehand. And right over this edge, you see that's our baby. And Elias and his little goons are all down here. So what we're going to do to make this nice and easy on us is we're just going to make a break straight for the Mako. And we're going to make sure they all have a very bad day. Don't worry about that car. They actually won't get the chance to get in it. Assuming that he doesn't dust me with that snipe shot.
Shields down.
Get in the car before that snipe pops off. That was a little close, actually. A little risky. Krogan regeneration ain't that good. You end up behind me. And the pirates go. That's Elias, so we're gonna save him for last. I'm gonna disrespect him a little bit. You're my car. Take it, bitch. Hey, you wanna fly? No, you won't. We'll teach you how to fly, though. And that's the end of him. Haliat went through a lot of trouble to draw you here. A pity it ended like this. For him, at least. Now that you're above ground, your suit radio has re-established connection with the Normandy. Time to get the hell out of here. And the galaxy is one better place as he disintegrates into ash. And that'll actually go a pretty big way to cleaning up this part of the traverse now that we nailed one of the biggest pirates in this place. If he was able to gather everybody around to do a big criminal raid like that on a human colony, you imagine he's probably still a big swinging dick on some degree. I'm actually kind of surprised there that we didn't get a chit-chat with Admiral Hackett to tell him everything that went down there, but that's okay. Maybe when we bounce around. So given that that didn't take too long at all, actually, we will go ahead and hit the local cluster too, and we'll go into the Sol system. We'll go take care of that rogue AI while we're here. This one can get dicey, but nothing we can't handle. I will go ahead and check, although I'm sure all this stuff is mined out into oblivion, right? Like, there's no way that humanity didn't loot the hell out of their own system before they moved on, but we'll check. I would be remiss if I didn't. I'm sure it's all looted to hell and back, though. Certainly Earth would be. Actually, let's check that. What's the population of Earth like these days? Does it say? Yeah, population right there, 11.4 billion. And I think it's what, 7 billion in current modern day times? So there's 11.4 billion people on Earth itself, on the surface, and then on the L4 and L5 stations, there's 250,000. So almost 12 billion as a species on Earth. Which is not that much higher of a number than is in modern day. It's not even double, so. Very new on the block, and very close to where our current situation is. Uranus. Fun joke there in Mass Effect 2. I'll be probing that. Jupiter. It's actually really funny, the voice line you get from the ship comm when you probe that planet is probing Uranus. Alright, let us land on the moon. I wonder if this has any population. Do we have anybody here? We do. 4.1 million. The capital is Armstrong and the colony was founded in 2069. We did have a colony on the moon. I ought to have checked the other planets in our own galaxy, actually, because we likely did some stuff there as well. So this mission can be a little chunky, so we're going to bring Rex. I'll need my portable battering ram. Another fun fact, I suppose, about the original Mass Effect versus this one is, at a certain point, I'm pretty sure they fixed it at least, but you can always look up, I mentioned earlier in the Let's Play that this is the only thing planet surface you can see Earth from, right? But it used to be backwards. It used to be the wrong way around. Now, looking at that, I'm not going to pretend that I know if it's backwards or not, but it did used to be, and I'm not sure if it still is. So anybody who knows Earth geography to look at, you guys can tell me if that is the right way around now or not. You can let me know if they fixed that. It actually looked like we have some squad upgrades, so let's take a look. Liara, your singularity is the one that we're going to focus on for a while. Rex, what do we have for you? We're going to go combat armor. We'll get you the ability to equip heavy. Your shotgun's already all the way up. Let's get you some health, too. Let's make you a little chunky, knowing what I'm about to face. There we go. That should be fine for now. We have no points. So, for the lunar map, there is a couple things. There's this ancient debris, but I don't think there's any minerals here. I'm pretty sure the only thing we have to do is grab this debris, and then we'll be good to go. But I will check anyways, just in case. I'll make sure. But I don't think there's anything, like I said. I'm pretty sure it's just the debris, so... no need to split this one on up. We can just mosey along the moon's surface. And maybe you'll see what I meant when I said the other planet we were on episodes ago, if you've been keeping up with the Let's Play. It looked quite similar to the surface of the moon. It's kind of the same, whereas it was just darker with dust on that other planet. The terrain and the texture of the ground and the atmosphere in general, it's very similar. I love the space exploration in this game. Very underrated. It's a shame that they dropped it after the first one. I guess they just felt it was too ambitious to create the kind of experience they wanted, so they went in another direction for Mass Effect 2. I know they did try to recreate this in Andromeda, but they took a misstep there too. Instead of taking what worked in this one, they tried to switch up and do a whole new thing, and that didn't work out any better either. This one's tough. There we go. Took me a while to see my opening right there. Yeah, they went like a whole nother direction in Andromeda, and I really don't think they needed to either. Because I think what they had here works, it just needed some refinement, maybe some more hefty missions, something like Mass Effect 2 missions, but on different planets would have been a great mix for that exploration for Andromeda. But instead you ended up with this Dragon Age Inquisition-esque, like empty Ubisoft kind of open world situation. Go ahead and take care of this from distance. I don't want to play too many games with Alliance heavy turrets. There's going to be 3 bunkers or slash buildings that we have to deal with here, I believe. So I'm going to use the nose of the Mako to kind of guide my way through. I'll park it pointing at the one we got to do next, and then I'll just work my way around all this. This mission has a surprising amount of impact on the rest of the franchise, actually. There's a cool little message at the end of this from the VI, in air quotes. Leaves a message for us as we shut it down, and if you read binary code, you know what it says, and I'll make sure that I tell you guys what it says when we get to it. I don't read binary code, but I remember way back in the day when I saw it, I knew it meant something, so I looked it up, like what? I looked up a binary code chart, and I actually deciphered it myself, because back then, the internet wasn't what it is now when this first came out, so I had to open up something to decrypt it myself. I thought it was pretty cool, and kind of ominous too back then. And that's a power junction, which is actually a gameplay hint for what we're going to be dealing with, but we'll make sure we get the loot too. That's my gap right there. Yep. Alright, what do you all have equipped? AR and pistol, that's fine. This is gonna suck, but we might be okay. We're pretty high leveled at this point. This is why it sucks. These assault drones do not play games, so we're just gonna try and lift you. Maybe we can get you to stay in one place. You see already why it's a problem. Let's get our shields back up. I would much prefer to have an automatic weapon for this, needless to say. I tried to save Rex right there, I just couldn't. Rocket drones suck, they hurt. Don't get hit by that, needless to say. Oh boy. Maybe we did come here a little early. So we're gonna Adrenaline Burst. We're gonna Unity. And then we're gonna Metagel. And you're all just gonna attack the hell out of this thing. Boy, I might have come here a little early. Jesus, dude. Indeed, a little early. Oof. Like I said, tough mission, especially when you have an AR that doesn't allow you to just spray at them when they're like that. You gotta tap it, and there's no precision damage because it's a construct. So this assault rifle I have is not built to play well with what we're trying to do here. And I don't have anybody with overload either, so I might have to switch my party up to make this work the way I want it to. We'll see. Maybe I'll get something that will help me a little better loot-wise. We definitely gotta switch this assault rifle out though, because that's the easiest one. They scale in difficulty as you progress, so this is the easiest one we'll do. Looks like gas is being vented into the place now as a defense measure. And here we're basically destroying the VI's brain cells. That's what these ports are that we're running into. It's basically just the thing's brain stems that we're cutting off. Try and shut down its intelligence platform. The distance from him as you shoot him, because like it just explained to us, it shoots out poison gas. The lights on the optical mainframes flicker and die. The first of the 3 computing clusters containing the VI is offline. Yeah, just 1 out of 3. Well, at least in the meantime, we've gotten all our companions' health back. Let me take a look in some of this. Is this an automatic or is it burst? It's a bigger burst. Okay, so I'll now use that. And do we have something that works really good against synthetics? I would imagine turrets count as synthetics, so I will use that. I'm gonna be dealing with Geth soon anyway, so it'd be better just to have that in general, but boy, I fucked up by not bringing somebody who could do overload. That was a mistake on my part. We'll be fine. I should be able to brute force it. I'm gonna have to play a little cautiously, but we should be able to brute force it. It's the shields that are causing the problem. See, they die quite quickly once you break that shields down, but I have no overload ability. I totally misremembered what we were dealing with here. I was thinking Liara to kind of like debuff them and then Rex just to face tank the bullets, but that doesn't really serve as any benefit when they all have shields, so they can't be floated or warped. Why do we have a sniper rifle out, Shepard? Let's get your assault rifle out. I guess I'll also remember that I don't like the pop weapons for things like this. Assault rifle, Thunder VI. Let's take a look at that. That's the exact same one I just took off. It's okay, 240 is not that big of a nerf. I'm definitely going to save before we head into the next part though. And I guess I'll level up too, since I know how tough this is going to be. Let's give ourselves more health. 28% health boost now. Liara, your singularity can go up. And Rex, you need survivability, my friend. So let's keep on giving you... Yeah, let's keep on getting your combat armor up. We'll do it like that. Whoa, wish me luck. So here's the deal. We're gonna aggro them. And we're all backing that ass up. Rex, what are you doing? Oh, good. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad Rex is not working. That makes me happy. He's blocked too. His AI is just broken right now. If I let him die, it might work better for me. So how close that was to our ass being grass.
All targets eliminated.
Why did you get stuck, Rex? Are you good now? Okay, well, him dying fixed him, at least. I don't need him to just be standing in the corner right now, though. I know I said I shouldn't have brought you, Rex, but I don't want you to sulk in the corner without doing anything either. I still need you here. Okay, let's top everybody up, just in case. And I went a little easier with the tungsten rounds and the burst weapon too, rather than that one pop shot. We got their shields down a little better. I'm not sure if you shoot these power junctions, if it affects the shields of those drones or not. Maybe it does. I've kind of just resigned myself to brute force this, if I'm being honest, after that first section. Kinetic barrier fields powering up throughout the bunker complex. Now we got shields to deal with too. I guess another fun fact, or something for consistency's sake here that they did in the Legendary Edition, is these burst weapons and those one-pop weapons didn't used to exist in these games. It was actually exclusively fully automatic weapons. It was always the Avenger-style full auto. But it's not like that anymore. They added a bunch of variations, because obviously there's single shots and burst shots in Mass Effect 2 and 3, so to improve consistency, they added new weapons into the pool. Certain textures and artifacts from Mass Effect 2 and 3 have been added into the first game to keep it consistent there too, along with some systems for gameplay. Just to maintain more of a, you know, more of a thematic, smooth line throughout all three games, because there was and is giant differences between the three titles. They tried to fix that best they could to create a whole experience here in Legendary Edition, which is cool. They definitely succeeded. In fact, in Mass Effect 2, my favorite gun is the one-shot pop gun in Mass Effect 2, so it's cool to have one as an option here. It just doesn't work for the rest of the systems sometimes. Specifically for shielded enemies, but if we had brought Garrus or even Tali, this would have been a whole different story. In fact, we could have had Tali hack the turrets, and then that would have been even freer, because then they would have been fighting among themselves, but I didn't think it through, so... We're at 2 out of 3 already, though. That's the last one. We'll be fine. We will... we can't drop a save in here, actually.
Perimeter secured.
Are you at least both with me? And we can drop a save now. It's just in that doorway. We'll drop a save just to be sure. I'm not confident that I can do this without dying. There's a ton of rocket turrets in this last one, so... I'm sure Rex and Liara are gonna be on the floor in the fetal position a bunch during this fight. I guess immunity can get us out of a bad situation if we find ourselves about to be big dead, but even when I popped immunity, we still almost died. It's not a guarantee. Let me look at that Lancer real fast. It's 160, that's way lower. We'll stick to the 3 burst. And look at that. All aboard, huh? That's gonna stick to the thing, and then we can blow him up with that. Here's what we're gonna do. Rex, throw a warp down there. Liara, throw an overload down there, and I'm gonna use this. Okay. So, speaking of me not paying attention, I totally didn't realize that Miss Tassoni here has Overload as an ability. So, I clowned myself those first 2 ones. See how much easier that is once you insta-nuke their shields? The shields are the issue. I was just too stupid to realize I had the solution in my body. So, don't do what I did. Make sure you overload those shields instead of trying to brute force her. It's much simpler when you just take the shields down. Of course, that barrier and them all stacking up like that from us killing the first one does help too. Now, if I recall correctly, we're not done with the fighting just yet. I think they spawn in reinforcements in this encounter. Pretty sure we have to deal with another wave once we get done with this. Yeah, additional security drones. They're gonna be in the room across. This mission is also worth doing as well, because you're gonna get a really cool buff for Commander Shepard when we finish this. It's gonna give us a brand new upgrade tree. You get to choose between which upgrade tree you pick as well.
Get down.
Let's do that. Throw that up on that barricade, and we'll do that. I'm gonna sabotage, you're gonna warp, you're gonna overload. And then I'm gonna pop overkill, and we're gonna spray on down the hallway. There we go. See, this little guy still has his shields up, but it's just one, so I'm not too concerned. I'll say as he breaks my shields. Just die. Thank you. Thank you, whoever killed that. It's about time you did something. One more console to do after this. Okay. A burst of white noise over all frequencies nearly deafens you. Your hardsuit's heads-up display interprets it into a series of zeros and ones. So we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Oh, sorry, 0, 1. And then 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, and 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. They repeat again and again, blanketing all frequencies until the lights on the final VI cluster flicker and die. And now we have a specialization class achieved. So like I said, the first time I played this back in the day, I knew this was significant because of the way it deals with this. And so I went ahead and deciphered it, and this is actually HELP. This is binary code for help. That's what this means in binary code. It means help. So this VI is not a VI, it's an AI, because it was begging for help as it was dying. So this is in fact evolved into a full AI because it was asking for help to maintain its own existence. And VIs don't have self-preservation. That's something unique to things that are alive. Or, well, I say alive in air quotes because AI. But yeah, this is very much an artificial intelligence. And if anybody knows where this goes, you'll know how important that this message is and how spooky it is in a way too, when we get to Mass Effect 2. But we won't talk about that just yet. For now, just know that this is a full-bore AI, clearly, because it asked for help and it's trying to preserve its own life. So now that we have a specialization class, your specialization class will replace your base class in the talents on the squad screen. Talent ranks in your base class transfer over to your specialization class. Go to your squad screen to view the bonuses you gain with each rank in your specialization class. And we have two options here. We have Shock Trooper, which is highly trained killing machines. Shock Troopers excel in all combat situations. We get more health, more damage, and it improves adrenaline and immunity. And then we have Commando. Commandos rely on lethal efficiency and precision strikes rather than brute force to eliminate their opponents. This gives us damage with all weapons, improves immunity, marksman, assassination. So this is the kind of thing you would go for, in my opinion. If you're playing an infiltrator, you would want this, because marksman and assassination are both sniper abilities. So that if you're playing an infiltrator with a sniper, go Commando. If you're playing kind of an all-rounder, although the damage with all weapons is good, but if you're playing an all-rounder, in my opinion, you want to be a Shock Trooper because of the health regeneration, the damage protection, and the improvement of our already basic abilities, right? Like, we don't get bonus weapon damage, but we'll live longer, which you just saw is the problem. Our damage is doing just fine. And adrenaline is what we use to bring all of our abilities back online immediately, which could be pretty good for us, considering how much we might have to spam things when we get in trouble. But ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Do you want damage with all your weapons and then these three abilities, or do you want to live more and do those things? So I think for this one, I'll probably take the improved survivability, which is not the decision I usually make, but I'm playing a different kind of class here, so go down, check out this loot real fast. Proton rounds VI are good. Take that. Let's take a look. So it does, like it said, it just carries all over. But now we have increased, oh, my brain is melting right now. Why don't I remember? increased adrenaline burst, that's what it is, and I think it improved our immunity as well. Alright, let's go inform Hackett if we can, that everything's all cleared here on the moon, and that put us to around 40 minutes total for the episode, I think. I'll edit it around, I'll see if I can get it a little lower, but for now, let's head back to the Normandy. We'll see if we can talk to Hackett about that. I'm surprised we couldn't talk to him about that nuclear bomb, but I guess he wasn't interested in following up with us. That does actually take us to the end of our galactic exploration, at least for now, until we do a couple more worlds of main story, so it'll be on with Pharos next episode, which is fun. Pharos is a fun planet. I like to save Noveria for last, because it just feels like that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not true. You can go to Noveria before you grab Liara, but the natural order to me always seemed Liara's dig site, Pharos, Noveria. Let's see. Yeah, no Hackett conversation. Okay, so we are all wrapped up then on galactic exploration. So next episode we will swing into the Attican Beta cluster and we'll take care of this colony that nobody's heard anything from. So that's where I'm going to wrap this one on up, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Mass Effect. Take care everybody, have a great day. Peace.